In 2019, I interviewed Abby Johnson, who worked for Planned Parenthood for 8 years and helped abort 22,000 babies. Today, she is a fervent pro-life activist. In our interview, she told me that Planned Parenthood personnel would take an ultrasound before every abortion to determine how much to charge for the procedure. But they would never show the mother the ultrasound image of her baby, lest she change her mind and decide not to go through with the procedure. The abortion industry in this country doesn't exist to help women whose babies will kill them if they don't abort. It doesn't exist to help women who were raped or who find themselves in other unbearable emergency like situations. It exists for ordinary women who simply find it inconvenient to have a child. It just doesn't fit into their schedule. And so they snuff out the life of the child that they themselves helped create. Three of the greatest 20th century rabbis, Rabbi Joseph B. Soloveitchik, Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe, called abortion murder. Whether abortion is only murder from an ethical Jewish perspective, or is also murder from a legal Jewish perspective, is really a secondary question, and a relatively unimportant one in the context of the larger debate. Judaism cherishes life. To end a life because it's inconvenient not to end it is supremely un-Jewish. Many well-meaning Jews loudly proclaim that Judaism's position on abortion is nuanced and falls somewhere between the position of the atheist left and that of the Christian right. That's false. 90% of abortions in this country are performed for reasons of convenience. That means that even according to the most lenient Jewish authorities, that is, those who say that abortion is generally prohibited but doesn't constitute murder, Judaism would sanction only 10% of this country's abortions. And that's a very charitable estimate. Thus, as one contemporary rabbi has written, there is no doubt that within the spectrum of American politics, Judaism is solidly pro-life. We Jews don't discuss abortion very often. Thank God we marry early, and our teenage boys and girls go to separate schools and thus are kept several steps away from the behavior that occasions the abortion question in the first place. Yet, as a Mamlechas Kohanim, we have an obligation to society at large to spread divine values and protect all innocent life. 60 million babies have been aborted in this country in the last 50 years. Somewhere between 90 to 100% of those babies, depending on which Jewish authorities you believe, were killed against God's will. And although Roe v. Wade has been overturned, many million more babies will be killed in the years ahead in states where abortion remains legal. We have an obligation to help save these babies. In closing, let me suggest that people watch the films Gosnell and Unplanned. You'll never think about abortion the same way again if you do.